Hi everyone, it's Gwathorn, and I'm going to be running the Wargs of Dol Guldur, except I'm actually going to run the complete version rather than the version that everyone runs when leveling, although I will give information about that as well. So I'll do a search for Wargs, drop it to level 123 will do. And we'll travel now. So I'm running with my red line captain with a predominantly healing set of items with bleed damage and improved battle readiness and battle hardened traits. The red line captain is able to get through most of this without terribly many issues. You may notice I've modified the character so that cutting attack is the first attack and grave wounds is second, with the intention is to get some expansion on the cutting attack to adjacent enemies when you hit the grave wounds. So basically bleed damage is the predominant damage that this is going to do. I'm going to go down the left side, which is fairly standard. Normally you would go for the goblins and wargs and then rinse and repeat. Stunned, come out of stun, go back into battle. So there's usually enough goblins in the first section, and there's always enough wargs. Playing this on level, you get good experience from the Wargs of Dol Guldur quest and the Goblins of Dol Guldur quest, and as I said, you rinse and repeat. Now, because I'm not taking all that much damage, I'm going to move on to the next mob because I have some area of effects abilities. The cutting attack and grave wounds does expand and does bleed damage over time to adjacent enemies. I am getting stunned. I do have the stun recovery ability, but it's on cooldown. Okay, and I'll move on to the next group, which is just round to the right. You always draw those, so I may as well deal with them now. Aggroed one of the elites. That happens. Didn't aggro one of the others. It wanders the main path. It's the main reason why you go around the side. Normally you would check to the south and see whether there are any goblins in those little groups. Doesn't look like there's any there. Straight in front over the other side of the road, the path. These are little wargs. Oh, it looks like I'll drag them anyway. Still, you get drops from them. You get hides from them and things like that. I'm up to 14 wargs. 15. Just about to make 16. And I need 3 more goblins. Now, before the first boss, there is a group of 2 wargs and 2 goblins. Just want to check to see if there's a goblin in that group. There isn't. Okay, so this would have been one of those fast runs that ended up with less experience because there would not have been enough goblins. But because I'm going to complete the warg pens with this run, I don't mind. I'll get the next goblin in the next group. I've pulled the wargs from behind, that's okay. It's not a particularly difficult instance. It would normally end here. People would defeat these wargs, defeat these goblins. They would get their experience and they would quit out and then restart again. So this is the rinse and repeat warg pens that would end about this point. Now, as I said, I'm going to go through the gate and take on the final goblin, which will give me my 7 goblins. No, give me my 8 goblins. I'm level 130. I'm the level cap at this point, so I'm not going to get any experience for it, but it's worth doing. Now, I didn't collect the meat scraps. I probably should have collected meat scraps. They're all the way through this, but normally if you're doing a fast run... Sorry, I was just stunned. Normally if you do a fast run, you would never get the meat scraps. So I've just out of instinct, I've not even bothered to pick them up. I'm going to get the howlers first. I'm going to get the wargs and leave the boss to last. He'll go and raise some more wargs, which I'll have to burn down them too, and go from there. I'll pop the extras, the longer cooldown damage attacks. This next warg will make short work of you. Sometimes you can keep this boss away from the wargs. You can see all the damage is being absorbed. I have to move to the other howlers. I have to move to the wargs before I can start doing damage to the boss again. And now he can start taking damage again. But he's going to go to another warg fairly shortly. So I'll have to just do as much damage as I can before the next section. Hopefully I can keep the boss away from the warg and just keep doing damage. Here we go. It has not woken up. Good. You should go to the last one next. Yep, woke him up. Okay, got to take out the warg before I can go back to the boss.
How dare you! I'll make you pay for that!
Okay. Was a 3 million morale boss. And it's gone. A fancy wooden chest.
You won't get past her.
And an enchantment rune. Enhancement rune. Okay, now we move into the section that most people don't get to see while doing the warg pens. This area is filled with wargs and stone wheels. You'll normally be able to get down there, but you need to get the stone wheel behind these wargs to be able to do it. There's some meat scraps, which as I said I'm not going to get. I might pick it up anyway. It's nice having the archer at a distance. It doesn't take any area of effect damage. Still does 10% of my damage. And picks up stragglers. Okay, I've got a deed as a consequence of knocking these over. Okay, it's the Southern Workwood deed, and you activate the stone wheel, which raises the portcullis that I pointed out before. And we go down and go into the next section. Around here we have more wargs. This is why you're always going to get 20 of them. There's usually a stealth one somewhere in here. So now I have 4 of them, whereas I had 3 initially. Burn them down. The Inspire, because I'm running Redline, does area of effect healing for the group, for the party, which is just enough to be able to keep my health up. So that's why it's part of the rotation. So as in Redline, you get to share 40 or 60% of your healing with the party. Your healing of the selected target. As I said, it's enough just to be able to keep me functioning with all of the extra inbound and outbound healing bonuses that come from the items that I've chosen, the legacies that I've chosen on my revamped legendary item. Okay, now we have the main boss, the final boss. This is usually where every character goes south. 5 million morale. And does decent damage. I'll pop all of the cooldown damage. I'll get as much healing as I can. Just keep doing a bit more extra single heals, which comes from the blue line. I'm back up to full, well, close enough. Again, I'm going to have to get the small wargs to be able to do damage to the boss. With my extra healing, I should be able to keep it up. Go back to the boss, start burning it down again. It'll call more ads, and I'll have to take those out as well. The nice thing about the marks is that they continue to heal even if you're stunned. Got to keep the healing up, and when the time comes I'll go through those cooldowns again. There we go. Oops, put that in the wrong spot. Okay. Drag the boss over to it. Keep that healing up. And stay in that area. So I'm able to run this at 123. The instance level is 123. I like running them green, the enemies green rather than grey. It does give you a little bit more experience. Fairly obviously we could run this at level cap with 2 or 3 characters. And here come the last 2 ads. On the left you can see all the bevy of bars running through, all of the cooldowns, all of the buffs and debuffs that are going on. There's quite a lot of them in reality. And there's the timers up above when things run out. Just the quick version of it. we're down to the last 200,000. Done. Now that was the last boss. This should take me back out to where I was. I'm just looking for the chest. I might just get the meat scrap. As I said, that's part of the quest that the quick players, the grinders, don't complete. Oh, it's not that way. It's been so rare that I actually do this, I've forgotten where the chest is. There it is. Okay. Fancy wooden chest. Okay, a heraldry, which is good. And the Tome of Might 11. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.